I'm Paul, I'm from Easy Crypto. The more astute of you would have recognised that I am not Janine Granger. She is the founder of our organisation, and after 8 years of overnight success, she sold our organisation to an Australian company on 1st of April. So you guys get me, I am the new face of Easy Crypto. So there you go. Today I'm going to be talking about, I think it's listed as alternative investments, but actually I'm going to talk about cryptocurrency. And I'm representing Easy Crypto. We're, we think, the biggest cryptocurrency business in New Zealand. I'm going to be talking about other currencies, not just Easy Crypto though. For those of you, can you put your hand up if you're a customer? Because I've always liked asking this question. Fantastic. About 10% of New Zealanders, or 15%, depending on who's asking, own cryptocurrency. I've already met some of you already who were an investor in our organisation, so it's always pleasant to turn up to these big rooms and find people who are playing around with our stuff, so thank you very much. A little bit about Easy Crypto. We have about 300,000 registered users on our platform, and we would have done over $4 billion worth of value, so it's not an insignificant piece of the investment ecosystem in New Zealand. And that's just us. There's a whole bunch of other people doing things as well. Some caveats. This isn't financial advice, past returns, future, all that sort of stuff. I think legal will only sort up to this, because the rest of it looks a lot like financial advice, but we'll get through that as quick as we can. So, not too fast. So what is crypto? So, told that some of you, the other 90% of you don't know what cryptocurrency is, so we're going to run through this. So for us, we view it as the evolution of money. I was talking to someone over lunch and I was saying, shipwreck people used to use cards as a demonstration of value. It used to be seashells way back in the day, became gold, became pieces of paper that we all just said that's the value, became a little bit digital, and now for us it's fully digital and it's programmable, and that's what we think of this as the future evolution of money. It is 100% digital, it's quite transparent. One of the misnomers about cryptocurrency is it's very good for criminal activity. I can tell you it's horrendous for criminal activity. That's why only 0.1% of all traffic is criminal. The organisation that looks after crypto investigations in the US is the same people who look after counterfeiting and all that sort of stuff, the Secret Service, and they love blockchains because they are very transparent. In fact, they've even said that publicly. It's a big asset class. It is collectively bigger than Google, and Bitcoin itself market cap is bigger than JP Morgan, Visa and MasterCard combined. So it is a fairly big piece of kit now out there in the world. It is programmable, and a lot of people were talking about AI today. I can tell you that AI, when it wants to start transacting, can't transact on our rails at the moment, not domestically. Joshua, you're going to work on that, I know, which is perfect, but it certainly can't do it internationally, and so the money that our AI, our agentic, our agents that are going to be looking to do purchases is going to be programmable, and that's why stable coins in our world will be the best that we think will be used for all of those microtransactions, all big transactions. And it's rapidly growing. Some of you will be aware that BlackRock and Fidelity launched some ETFs at the beginning of last year. The BlackRock Bitcoin ETF is now bigger than their 20-year-old gold ETF inside a year. That's how fast this thing's been adopted by them. So it is a fairly big industry for them, and they're also getting into doing other things. Through the wonders of blockchain, you can tokenize government bonds, the US treasuries, and make it widely available to people in the crypto ecosystem. And people are tokenizing gold and property and all sorts of things now. So what's it all mean? Well, not great coding, but Bitcoin does pretty well. If you look along the bottom, it's a busy slide, but you look at the years that Bitcoin is the best performing asset on Charlie Bielow's chart, and it dominates 3 out of every 4. Let me say that again. It dominates 3 out of every 4, and it happens on a repeatable cycle. There's a little bit of alpha right there, not investment advice. Since 2011, its annualised return is 143%. That's a big number. Since 2020, it's only down to 60%. But it's still going up. Its volatility is coming down as it gets older. So, talking about Bitcoin, we think it's something that people should start paying attention to if you're interested in investing. Talked about that 4-year cycle. We're in year 3 of the 4-year cycle. Next year, probably not so good. But that's just how that works. This time around, it's been a little bit supercharged by the ETF cycle. However, we've got Taco, we've got 2 billionaires going at it online today. Assets are falling. A little bit of a caveat around that one. The other thing that's really kind of fascinating about the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin ecosystem is it's driven by global money supply, global M2, and that is starting to take off. So as governments who are exiting out of their austerity practices and starting to print more money is coming into the ecosystem, and the money is looking for places to invest in risk assets because the yields are coming down on the government bonds. So that is a good driver for us. And that's the end of the presentation. There you go. So isn't it just speculative? Well, it's true. It's like all our investments. Like people are investing in cryptocurrency because they want to, improve their financial freedom and all that sort of stuff. Who invests in it? You'd be really surprised. We've got people on our platform who are 16. We've got people on our platform. The oldest we think is about 90. They are over-indexed in Māori and Pacifica. They are over-indexed in young men, no surprise there. But we can see people come onto our platform, we can see them get married, have kids, have no discretionary income, and then when they're about 35, 40, 45, somewhere in that, they start coming back and investing. So that is the kind of demographic that we're dealing with. We have undertaken quite a lot of research into our customer base, so we can tell you that a lot of them are investing in our product sets because they believe they're locked out of more traditional investments. They don't think they can ever buy a house, for instance. But they still want to achieve the same degree of financial freedom as everyone else. So that's why they come to us. They're interested in the alternative investment strategies. The other thing about crypto is it's a very, very diverse church. Like there is some absolute dog shit at one end. Do not touch it. There is some what we think of very in our world is very stable relatively compared to other things. Things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, like the big coins. There are stable coins, which are transactional, like a digital cash flowing around. And then there are things like I said, tokenized government bonds and all that sort of stuff. So it's not a homogenous group of assets. And so if you do want to come in, please do your own research and find out what you want to do and invest in and all that sort of stuff. It is increasingly, the blockchain technology is being used by a lot of other people to do a whole bunch of things because it drives efficiency. If I can send $100 million to Rupert, just to make your day, for 1 cent instantly, it's pretty powerful. And I can do that anywhere in the world. So that's the power of blockchain. So that's one use case. Tokenizing real estate and fractionalizing cars. And there's somebody in New Zealand trying to fractionalize racing horses. These types of assets that are traditionally locked away to a very exclusive group of people are suddenly being made available through the wonders of blockchains and wallets and all that sort of stuff. So it's sort of driving its own economic revolution inside of its ecosystem. And then there are some parts of the world where Bitcoin is preferred over cash. If you are living in Argentina or Turkey and your dollar or lira or peso is depreciating 25% per annum, hanging on to Bitcoin actually makes sense. Even in New Zealand dollar against the US dollar is down 2% this year. Last night, I haven't checked today, but last night Bitcoin was up 50% against New Zealand dollar. So store of value, store of wealth. And it's really location dependent, but there are some places in the world where you just do not want to hold your local currency. Government oversight, devaluation, you might want to move out in a hurry, there's a war. Those kind of things. So its uses are many and varied, and just because we live in a country with a relatively stable economy, a relatively stable geopolitical environment, doesn't mean it doesn't have use cases in other parts of the world. So, what's next? Hopefully, we've piqued your interest, and the thing that we try to do is just get you to invest a little bit of your time in education yourself, and then maybe make the decision to invest in some of the crypto space. Put a little bit of your portfolio into it. Doesn't matter if it's through us, through Binance, through an ETF, however you want to do it. We think it's a really good idea because it is a non-correlated asset. It has a really good Sharpe ratio of over 1. It also has this ability to have a little bit of volatility, which adds some value to you. And so we think it's an asset that people should seriously be considering. Ask some questions. My team, where are you guys? Over there, thank you. We're around if you want to talk more about crypto. We put out a weekly newsletter. Brendan writes it. He is now the editor of that. It used to be me, but I'm dyslexic, so there you go. And the open rate on that is 65%, so our audience sucks that up because we talk about what's going on in the market, what the macro is going on, and how things are going. And don't be idle. That would be our advice. Something about a stadium, isn't that right? Henry? Yeah, there you go, he's listening, very good. Okay. Thank you.